what we're in. Day six, the first of two-a-days this morning. Came out in shorts, had a very spirited practice for getting out on the grass this morning. I know they're a little stiff and sore after wearing pads for the last 3 days, and we have had a very physical camp in the first 6 days. I mean, we've done a lot of hitting, but with all the new faces, we've made the decision that we just got to find out who's going to play this game physical. And so I was really proud of the way they came out in shorts today, focused, flew around, had some energy. I talked about the leadership of this group, and I think on mornings like this is when it really shows up, when you hear those guys really being vocal and you still get an awful lot out of a shorts practice. We will have some meetings this morning, then get them off their feet this afternoon, and for the first time we'll have our pads practice at 7 to 9 tonight and kind of get a little bit out of the heat that we've been practicing for the last couple days. And with the last couple days, the heat index being over 100 from 4 to 6, it's been hot for them. So we're kind of looking forward to getting out there tonight under the lights a little bit and seeing these guys practice in full pads in a cooler day.
Today, Skip, it seemed like Cody might have had his best day yet. Do you agree with that?
I think Cody's getting better every day. I mean, he's making some throws and making some reads and doing some good things. And we've said as a staff, it's going to be a heck of a battle. It's going to be a heck of a battle. But, you know, at this point, Ryan and Cody are getting the bulk of the work. We are still giving Alex and Taylor and Price, they're still getting works because we got to find out who's going to be three. And I made the comment the other day that after that second scrimmage, then it'll be, after that first scrimmage in 2 weeks, it'll be time to start eliminating and really start honing in with who's going to be the guy. But right now, I think Cody, for having it for 6 days, is getting better and better every day. And you can see his confidence growing and his leadership growing as he's feeling more and more comfortable in the offense.
What does a freshman need to do to win that job if that's even possible?
Well, I think it's going to be hard right now, especially with the two upperclassmen that we have there. You know, Taylor being a new guy coming in definitely has a chance to have a role. But I say all the time, too, freshmen have a chance because the upperclassmen give them the opportunity. And right now, having the upperclassmen we have, it's going to be hard for a freshman to break in. Now, that doesn't mean you can't get them ready. I mean, you look at last year, we had about 4 quarterback rotations because of injuries that we had. And hopefully we can do a little bit better job protecting our quarterback this year. But those guys, they're not going to get a lot of work because we got to find out who that one is going to be.
What's just your overall thoughts of just coming out twice today?
Coming out.
Like the 2 days?
I kind of like 2 days because you get so much done. You get a chance to get out on the field early. You get a lot of kicking. Went about an hour of kicking game this morning. A lot of Pascal against the defense and a lot of time apart. After 5 days, we need some time to correct some of the little mistakes on both sides of the ball. But it makes tonight's practice that much better because you've polished some things up. They get a long nap. It's going to be a little bit cooler tonight. They're going to be under the lights. And it's got a lot more energy. So I like the 2-a-day schedule. I just think it's hard to do that many days in a row because of the wear and tear it takes on their bodies.
You talk about the wear and tear. This morning you went just helmets. Tonight you'll go full pads.
Yes.
What were you looking to accomplish this morning? Maybe was it polishing up some stuff, and tonight maybe some more installation?
You know, we've gone 3 days in pads, and so 3 days in a row in pads. We've got a chance to correct some things, but today was a lot of teaching. I mean, where you really got a chance to do a lot of things against air, where when you put on pads, you want to get teamwork, group work, inside, half line. I mean, you want to get as much as you can teamwork. Today, the only thing we did against each other was Pascal. We did a little red zone Pascal, we did a little field Pascal, and everything else was separate away from our defense and offense, where they would have an opportunity to really polish those things up and take that time to teach, because you don't get a lot of time to do that. You're coaching on the run so much during the fall camp schedule.
And we're getting close maybe to that line where the physical wall is going to come up.
Yep.
How do you think the conditioning has been thus far team-wide?
I think they've been in great shape. I mean, we had every player but 2 pass the conditioning test. Those guys are doing a lot of running extra. And when you talk about 100 guys, that's 98 that passed it. That it has not been easy, and the conditioning test was not easy. And I think Coach Hester did a great job. But I talked at the beginning, the very first press conference, and I wanted to commend these players for the job they did this summer. We were allowed, with a new rule, we were allowed to watch film with them for 2 hours a week during the course of the summer. And with all the freshmen being here, and then those guys went out and kind of ran plays on their own. So these new players have all heard, they've all heard the routes, they've heard the runs, they've heard protections, blitzes, coverages. So it wasn't the first time they heard it. And I think they made an incredible commitment this summer. And I think it's really paying off right now when you look at where they are mentally and also where they are physically. But that physical wall will come. The worse shape you're in, the harder you hit it, and the sooner it comes. The better shape you're in, it doesn't become as big of a mountain to climb, and it comes a little bit later in camp. And right now, I haven't seen any signs, mentally or physically, of the wear and tear of camp.
Through your career, what day in fall camp does that physical wall normally take place?
You know, normally you get it around day 10 to 12 is about when it starts to show in. I mean, this is day 6 because that's the excitement of starting camp is over. You can't see the light at the end of the tunnel yet, and so you're not, you know, when you get into that, all of a sudden you're getting into 20, 21, 22, you're into game week at that point. And so now you're kind of pulling back a little bit and trying to get their legs back for the season. But it's that middle period from about 12 to 18 that you really start to see it. And they'll all hit it a little bit different time, but those are the times that we're going to have to push through the hardest and really rely on our leadership.
How important is the secondary this season, given who you lost up front?
Huge. And we keep talking about the experience back there, and I think with Ronnie Bradford back again with those guys, with the job that Blake Baker's doing with the safeties, and really the experience that we have at linebacker, I think those back 7 are really critical for us right now. And I think their experience, when you look at the upperclassmen with Liggins and Kobe Brown being seniors, you got a Darius Barnes, Bryson Abraham, juniors, you got 3 senior linebackers. When you start talking about Pinson and Johnson and Villamez, I think all that experience is going to play huge. And we've just, we've got a couple guys right now that have some nicks or some soft tissue muscles, whether it be a hamstring or a tendon or something like that. Maybe that'll sit a day here or sit a day there, and we just got to keep pushing through it. But I think, with Houston Bates and Dora, really been impressed with Houston Bates and the job that he's done and what he brings to us as a defense. He's strong, he's fast, and he's really been impressive the first 3 days in pads. And hopefully adding an experienced guy like him will help offset the losses of a guy like IK, who I watched him the other night have that great sack at Green Bay that helped preserve the win. Just really, really hoping that Houston can help fill that void for us with Dora on the other side. And then with Butler and Pishon and McKinney and D'Angelo Brooks and some of those guys internally that have some experience as well, I don't think it's as inexperienced as maybe some of the other positions on the team.
You mentioned that the offense was inconsistent last year, so what do you need to see from them in practice to show they're taking strides?
I had made the comment yesterday. I was really disappointed in what we did offensively. We had about 25 plays offensively where we fumbled the snap, we had a bad snap, we jumped off sides, a guy went the wrong way, we had a missed assignment, some guy was unblocked at the point of attack, things like that. And we just really challenged them and talked about, we can't have it. If we want to be a good football team, we have got to get better as an offense. And when you look at our season last year and our 8 losses, we didn't score over more than 16 points in any of them. That's the one variable that when you look at, we have got to score more points, and we're challenging the heck out of them. I really thought they responded last night with maybe one of the best practices we've had since I've been here as an offensive football team. And what will happen is the defense is watching that film today, and they'll respond back tonight, and then the offense will have to bounce back, and that's what makes a good football team better, is iron sharpens iron. And as the offense wants to get better and the defense gets competitive and bounces back, and it goes back and forth as we go through course of camp. But I saw for the first time a sign yesterday that I felt like our offense may have a chance to be decent.